Let's speak to Greece's former Prime Minister, George Papandreou, who joins me now from Athens. Welcome to you. Good to have you with us. To begin with, Greece... Thank you. Thanks for being with us. Greece is a member of both NATO and the European Union, and we know that right now Ukraine is calling for membership to both. In this, its dire hour of need. So what should the EU and NATO do in light of that request?
Well, first of all, Helena, we just finished a session of the Greek Parliament where all parties unanimously have condemned the incursion, the invasion, the war that Putin has begun, the unprovoked war. And of course, we have expressed our solidarity not only for the Ukrainian people, but for all those suffering in this war. And of course, a welcoming hand in this dire situation of the many, many refugees now that are leaving the area. And the reason we are saying this is because Greece has really deep down feels a solidarity with the Ukrainian people, because this is not just about Ukraine. This is about the values we cherish. This is not an era where we see changes. This is a change of an era, an abrupt turn of history where our values are being challenged, ones which we cherish so much in Greece, the democracy where we've fought for many generations. We've lived under dictatorships, we've lived under occupations, we've lived with invasions. Our national sovereignty has always been very important, and the non-use of violence and the respect of international law are dear to our hearts. But these are European values, and this is the Europe we have been able to create over the past decades, and we don't want to see this lost. So this is important for us all. Now, as it is with Ukraine, of course, we are open arms, and I think that allowing Ukraine to become a part of the European Union is a very strong message to the world, but certainly to Putin. I would add to this, of course, that the next stage, if we allow Putin to either simply tolerate what he's doing or get away with what he's doing, the next stage of a crisis will be the Balkans. That's in our neighborhood, just in Greece. We are in the Balkans. And that will be the new playing ground for Putin. Okay. So I think that we need to give a strong message both to Ukraine, but also to the Western Balkans for being part of the European Union.
I want to talk about that challenge now, because Greece is a country that knows the challenge of dealing with the fallout from conflicts. It knows the challenge of hosting refugees. And when you look at the conflict right now and the fallout that we're already starting to see at the borders in countries that border Ukraine, what challenges does Europe now need to be ready to face?
Well, there are some immediate challenges, and obviously we all want to see a ceasefire. And a ceasefire means that Putin stops the invasion, very simply. He pulls out the troops so that there can be diplomatic discussions and solutions to possible problems. But of course, at the same time, we need to deal with the refugee issue, which is a growing issue. And I think that there is a wide positive response in this sense from all of the totality of the European Union countries. There is, of course, lessons to be learned. I think what Europe is now being learned, this is a wake-up call. Our values, we do not want to become a militarized Europe, but we do want to defend our values. We do want to defend our democracy, our human rights, our way of life. And this means that we need to think of our defense to defend these values, common defense. We need to be independent and autonomous as far as energy is concerned, as far as our food chains are concerned. For food safety, we saw in the pandemic, we need to have our own production of medical equipment and medicines. I think this is where Europe also has to see itself integrating, becoming much more powerful politically in a unified stance on these issues, both for Europe, but also for our wider region. So I think these are the major challenges we will be facing. You can hear outside just this window here where I'm staying there's a large gathering and a growing gathering of people in solidarity for these basic values.
Okay. All right, Greece's former Prime Minister, George Papandreou, we have to leave it there, but we thank you for sharing your insights. Thank you.